Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with Josh Burnham, former professional boxer and now a budding or burgeoning trainer here at Punch London in Mill Hill. Just tell us first of all a bit about how, I know it's not the happiest subject, but a bit about how your own career after 2 pro fights came to a premature conclusion.
Yeah, so the 2 pro fights, and then should I hold this or?
No, unless you want to.
No, that's right. I 2 pro fights, and then unfortunately I broke both my hands in that same year. So I was kind of having training camp, broke my hand, training camp, broke my hand, and then another fight came up. I had to renew my brain scan, and unfortunately it wasn't how I wanted it to come out. So I've got 2 kids at home, so I've got bigger priorities to think about. So yeah, but I had to stay in boxing. I couldn't cut boxing out completely because I just got mental otherwise. So obviously luckily I was here. Don took me under his wing, said to me, "Come help me out." So I helped Don with a few of his boxes, but I've got my own little stable as well. So,
and that's Don Charles, of course. So were you already training here in the gym as a boxer? Is that how the transition occurred?
Yeah, so I had both my pro fights under Jason Rowland over in Essex. I came over here to start training with Don, and it was supposed to be our first fight together that obviously I didn't have, so which I was a bit gutted about, but you know.
And how did the actual transition into training come about? So when you found out you'd failed the brain scan, you couldn't carry on as a pro boxer, obviously you were devastated, I imagine. Did you then go to Don and say, "Don, I've had an idea, I want to stay in boxing," or did he come to you and say, "I've noticed you could be a good trainer"?
Yeah, I mean, Don straight away, as soon as I had to retire from boxing, Don straight away was like, sat me down, was like, "It's not over for you, don't worry, you're part of the family," sort of thing. And I was like, I've got to stay involved. And he was like, "Absolutely." He's like, "Whenever you're ready, come talk to me." So I was always helping out with a few amateurs, even while I was boxing. A few amateurs, I was training a few, kind of white collar boxes here and there. But yeah, I had to stay in it. And Don obviously had my back the whole time, so yeah, he was encouraging me the whole way.
I mean, Josh Pritchard, who works in Shane McGuigan's gyms, had a very similar story in that he only had a few pro fights before he was forced to retire for exactly the same, well, not exactly the same because I don't know the details of the scans, but similar reasons. And he's now an integral part of Shane McGuigan's operation, so maybe it's something to do with the name Josh, but it seems to be working pretty well.
I did a lot of sparring over there. I used to spar a lot with Josh Taylor. I did a bit of sparring with Groves and Conrad Cummins when he was down there. So yeah, I remember at the time when I first started going down there, Shane was kind of saying, Josh he's going to get back in, the ring. I was like, oh, okay. And then he just ended up kind of doing what I guess I'm doing now, except for, although I'm working with Don on like the fight we had sparring just now, obviously I've got my own stable of fights as well. Like just mine, Tony has his, Don has his, but a few boxes that we're working on together.
Yeah, I believe Josh has recently taken on his first soul charge as well. Yeah, so you both kind of flying the flag. End of a pro career doesn't have to be the end of boxing for you guys. Let me ask you then, which of Don's fighters do you assist with currently, and just tell us a bit about your own stable and who you've got coming through.
I've only just started really assisting Don, so we've got a few new fighters who've just come through. The guy Giulio Veronzi, I think that's how you say his last name, from Albania, he's come over here. He's been boxing out in Italy up to now. We've got Romeo back in the gym, so I think I'm going to be assisting Don with that one. As I said, I'm just starting to try and build my own stable. Eric Maconzo, I'm trying to turn his career around. So we're one win under our belt now. We're trying to get back on the winning trail. And I've got a few other fighters coming through who are kind of turn over from the amateurs. So.
What would you say are the biggest things you've learned so far from Don, and what would you say is your own training philosophy?
What I've learned from Don, me and Don are quite similar people. We're quite stubborn. So, we're quite set in our ways. I guess the biggest thing I've learned from Don is his experience. Lots of little things where I kind of am trying really hard to rush in, where Don's almost made mistakes, and he's like, "Trust me, I've done this before, I've seen it." So I guess I'm learning from that side of it from Don. And you know what? In all honesty, I'm learning from everyone in the gym. We've got Tony Pill, we've got Xavier Miller who's coming in the gym. So we've got a good crop of fighters all around coming through, so I'm learning off everyone really.
And what's your own training philosophy if you had to sum it up?
My training philosophy, for me, there's not enough hours in a day for training. When I was a fighter, I wanted to train 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day if I could. And I try and instill that, never give up, never kind of pull back in my own fighters. But at the same time, I'm trying to realise that not everyone's like me. I'm just starting to learn that. That's one of the things I've learned from Don. But yeah, I've got that kind of full steam ahead mentality.
How would you compare the buzz you got from fighting? I know you only had a brief pro career, but obviously you had fights before that as well. The buzz you get from fighting and winning compared to the buzz you get from being in the corner of a fighter who wins?
It's obviously completely different, but I would say I probably get more nervous being in the corner. It's funny, when I used to fight, to be honest with you, even when I was an amateur, I had a few bad decisions go against me, but it never really bothered me. I don't know, I was like, this is boxing. And then when I had it happen to one of my amateurs recently, and I went absolutely mental. I don't know why it's annoying me so much. I know this is boxing, but I feel like these are like my children now, as opposed to with me, I wasn't really that bothered. So yeah, the buzz is more. I now know what my dad went through, and my mum. When I used to go out and fight, I'm like, so I'll be back, fight again next week, fight again the week after. I was fine. I never used to get nervous, but now I'm on the other side. It's completely different.
And just before we let you go, for people out there that would like to follow this burgeoning and intriguing journey, just tell us what your social media handles are.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I think my Instagram name is Josh Burnham. I'm a bit backwards when it comes to technology, really. Yeah, Josh Burnham. So yeah, get behind me, follow the journey. Follow the boxer's journey, more importantly.
Brilliant. Well, we thank you for your time and best of luck going forward.